Hello and good morning, guys. Thanks for joining once again India's MacAdmin virtual meetup. I know we are doing this since almost a year now, but I am trying my best to bring more and more into this community. And maybe one day I will also see and try to create an in-person meeting, but that's far away from now. But I would like to thank each one of you to coming back to my meetup month by month on a weekend. So let's talk about agenda. We are going to keep today's event very short and crisp. So obviously we will talk about my introduction, about Apple updates, Jamp updates, and the main highlight for today's event is talking about Jamp's April event. In April month, Jamp has launched an event where they have discussed some new functionality and feature which is going to come live this summer, and there are few things which are in roadmap. So we are going to discuss that. And lastly, I'm going to highlight few meetup topics because time and again, people come to me asking what are the next month's topic. So I'm going to highlight a few topics which is in my mind. And maybe, you guys can share more ideas and stuff which you need me to talk on. Okay. To start by my introduction, my name is Salim Ukani, and in Champ community on Mac admin community, people know me as Samstar. I have 15 plus years of experience, both in Apple and Windows platform. So I am an MDM engineer for Champ and as well as an Intune. I like to collaborate with people, help people, and that's where I have created this community to discuss, connect with you, not only help you but also to grow my skill set. Apple updates. As of today, to best of my knowledge, we have seen that iOS and iPad OS are on version 16.5 and Mac OS is on version 13.4. Between last month and this month, one important thing has been released, and that is RSR, the Rapid Security Update. So Rapid Security Update were released on Mac OS Ventura and also on iOS version 16 and higher. Okay. So what is Rapid Security Update? We have already discussed in our previous meetup. If you guys were not part of it, I would recommend to go back to our YouTube channel and see our previous month's meetup to understand what is Rapid Security Update. One important update which I would like to share with you, which is important to our organization, not sure about yours. Last month or this month when Rapid Security Update were released, specifically on iOS devices, we have seen that if a user is on mobile data, Rapid Security Update comes to that device and download that security update using mobile data, which is a concern for our organization because we want that any software update should be downloaded only on Wi-Fi network and not mobile data, because we don't want to use end users mobile bandwidth or mobile plan for that data uses. This was a concern for my organization. We went to Apple and Apple said, it is not designed that way. Maybe in future releases, they will try to help us get more granular control, but it is a good information to share that Rapid Security Update can also be downloaded from mobile data. And maybe if it's a global organization, maybe a user may raise a concern saying that why a security update is utilizing my mobile data. So that's a highlight to update, and maybe you can take a note of it. You can also share this with your management. Maybe share a feedback with Apple saying that, okay, we need a feature that Rapid Security Update should only be downloaded and installed on Wi-Fi network. This is possible on all other software update, but not for Rapid Security Updates. If you want to know more about Apple updates, what is contained in the security updates, there is a link on this page. You can go to that link and you can read about all these security updates. Jamp updates. Uh, Jamp is still on 10.46 version. We have 10.46.1, which is fixing one minor issue. So Jamp is on 10.46. And yes, it also has the same functionality. But last time when we were focused on Jamp deprecations, so this time we can take this opportunity and we can talk about few functions and features which 10.46 brings. Okay. Last time in our discussion, we have actually discussed detail about labs. Labs is local administrator password solution. Today, it is released for all Jamp customer through an API. Maybe in near future updates, Jamp is also going to provide a user interface to enable labs. But if you guys want to explore Jampro APIs, I'm going to schedule one meetup dedicated on labs, discussing how can we enable labs through an API call, how can we retrieve the rotation password, and how can we make sure whether the password is actually rotating or not. So I'm working on this and also expecting that the user interface of labs should come out so that I can merge both and show it to you in one meetup. It's a very good feature and I'm going to show you a demo, how to set up, what are the requirement and stuff. Declarative status reporting enhancement. As we know, rapid security updates or rapid security response updates are out on Mac devices now. If you guys want to see on which devices these updates are already installed, then now inside Jamf inventory, under operating system, you will have this option called operating system rapid security response, and it will have a value called A or B. The first rapid security response update will add a value A, and the second will get a value B, and it will rotate A and B like that with every subsequent rapid security response. Rapid security response are very quick bug fixes which can mitigate a security risk. Normally, you will not find any release note initially when this is deployed. Okay. But yeah, it is great to find this in inventory because if a cyber security guy comes to you asking, can you give me a compliance of all the device which has installed this rapid security response, this is the condition which you can add in an advanced search and you can generate a data and you can share the report. But mind it, this will work only when declarative device management is enabled on Mac device. And we are going to talk about declarative device management in next slides. And there I will show you how can you check whether declarative device management are enabled on your devices or not. A good news for all of us is Jamf has now introduced Jamf 170 course. 170 course bring us more closer to Mac security. if you are if you guys are focused on security aspect of Mac devices, or if your organization is asking more and more into security, this is a go-to course. This course contains about native Mac security, about security expanded, and Jamf Protect. So native Mac security is your SIP, your gatekeeper, your X Protect and stuff. Security expanded is basically your CIS benchmark and stuff. I'm sure you guys know about NIST CIS benchmark. If you are not, maybe you can tell me in our group, and maybe I will take a dedicated session on CIS benchmark. What is it? How to implement CIS benchmark in our environment through Jamf. That is also possible. And lastly, it also covers an aspect of Jamf Protect. So you guys would be knowing Jamf Protect is an anti-malware EDR solution designed and developed for Apple devices. It is a very robust solution which can also detect and auto remediate an instance of behavior type issues or malware attacks. So this course is available in Jamf training catalog, and there is also a certificate exam associated to it. It's a self-paced course, So you can take out some time from your routine and spend some hours on this training. And once you are completed the training, and once you are confident about the training, you can go for certification. It will give you a good value because security is very important in a global organization. When you see this slide, maybe many of you guys will have a thought that, okay, there is a 170 training out there, but how can I access this training, and how can I prepare myself for this examination or for this certification? So I have covered this for you. On this slide, if you see, there are two QR codes. I'm going to give you some time. Please scan this from your mobile phone. On the left hand side, you have a QR code which will directly take you to JAMP 170 course training module. It's a free training module. You can register and you can train yourself in your own pace. Once you complete your training, before you go to examination, there is also a practice exam given to you by JAMP. On your right hand side, there is again a QR code. Please scan it and keep it safe for practicing the exam. I'll give you take a pause for you guys to scan. And if you are not able to take a scan at the moment, don't worry. This session is recorded and you can take the scan you can see the YouTube recording and you can take a scan that time. But I would recommend each one of you to do this training. I myself is a certified 370 admin, but still I'm going to take 170 as a refresher. And if you are seeing my recordings on YouTube, and if you are not part of my Telegram group, this is the right time to scan this QR code and join the community. This group in Telegram is very active. Every member in this group is helping each other. We are trying to help each other and grow our skills. Feel free to join this. And in this group, you can always come to me and ask, okay, hey Sam, we need to understand this concept of Mac management. And maybe one day I can create a dedicated event to discuss the same. It would be a good opportunity to also talk to like-minded people in the group. Let's focus on the main topic for today. The main topic for today is talking about highlights of JAMP April event. This is an event where JAMP has announced that there are certain feature and function which is coming to life this summer, and there are certain things which are in roadmap, and there are few things which is already released by JAMP, and maybe we are not aware of it. Starting with trusted access, I am sure you guys would know what is trusted access. If you're not, then let me give you a gist. Post-COVID period has given us a new habit of working from anywhere, working from home, working from somewhere outside, or working in a hybrid environment where you go 2 to 3 days in office and work rest of the days from home. Or maybe you are traveling somewhere in your native and working from there. So if you are working from anywhere, as a Mac admin, how can you make sure that the device can be trusted, it is not compromised, and how can you trust the device and give them company resource access? To save your company resources, JAMP has created trusted access. Not only you can save your company's resources, but also you can empower user to work from anywhere. It also reduce IT tickets because it's a seamless access provided to end user, and it also enhance their productivity. It's a very good feature and product from Apple. If you guys have some budget, you can always try it out or you can evaluate the same. Jamp Trust is basically a simplified way of working and giving a simple streamline access. Basically, Jamp Trust integrates with your cloud identity provider, and once it is integrated, end user is authenticated with cloud identity provider, and it is providing the access. If Gem Trust found out that a device is compromised or it's not compliant, it restricts the access immediately of the Mac device. Not only access based on native application, but if user goes on a browser session, it calls out that the access is restricted as your Gem Trust is disabled. You must enable it, and when you enable it, tells you all sort of information about it. It's a very good product. Obviously, you guys should go and evaluate Jam Trust because it's a ask of the day. Okta and Jamf. We all know that Okta and Jamf has a very tight integration. This one slide here is just to tell you that platform SSO, which Apple had announced previous year, is now enabled and live with Okta as identity provider. So if you have Okta in your organization, then you can work with Jamf documentation and enable platform SSO for your Mac devices. Platform SSO brings seamless sign-on experience. You will log in for the first time when you log in on a Mac, and then there is no more password prompt required. I cannot demonstrate Okta with Jamf for you because my organization is a Microsoft shop. We have Azure and not Okta. But if any one of you has Okta and would like to integrate with Platform SSO and maybe would like to present in one of our event, they are always welcome to reach me, and we can prepare a slide, and one day we can show our community members that this is how you can configure and implement Okta in your organization. I will surely do a platform SSO with Microsoft Azure as and when Microsoft is ready with this functionality. Declarative device management. So this slide is highlighting basically new capabilities of declarative device management, where it is now capable or on sharing the password compliance and supplementary build version of rapid security response. But if you guys don't know what is declarative device management, in a nutshell, for every hardware and software information of a Mac device, if you are managing it from Jamf as an MDM, you know that you need to do a recon, basically inventory update. And you cannot run inventory update every now and then, because inventory update is one which will update all those information in your Jamf inventory records. But Apple has brought something called declarative device management, which can update this information without running a recon on the device. So, as an example, if rapid security response is installed on a Mac, that Mac do not need to update a recon for flashing this information in Jamf. It will automatically update. These updates do not require inventory update anymore, and hence it is a declarative device management in a nutshell. Now, as I told you in previous slides, that this information will only be updated if your declarative device management is enabled, which has to be enabled on Mac OS devices 11 and higher. But if you want to check if it is enabled or not, here is a small advanced search for you. This advanced search will help you identify if your devices are enabled for declarative device management. Basically, just go to computers, click on a new inventory, and search for this criteria called device declarative management. Operator is yes, operator is, which is an exact match of a value called enabled. When you save this inventory and see the result of this inventory, the devices which comes in this search are those devices where declarative device management is enabled. Manage device attestation. Uh, this is a feature which is available for not only iOS but also Mac OS with T2 chips and Apple Silicon devices. This managed device attestation just makes sure that the device which you are about to connect to your organization are genuine. And it checks it by the device identifier. If device identifier checks and see that this device is not authenticate or it is misleading you with the information by an attacker, then this device will not be able to onboard to your company resources. It's a very good feature provided by Apple. If you want to read more, you can always go to Apple documentation. But how does it work? You know, in a nutshell, as I told you, it proves the device identity. It checks if the device which is trying to connect to your organization server is genuine or not. And this is possible because of a physical hardware on the Mac or the iOS devices, and that physical hardware is called secure enclave. On the screen, on the left hand side, I'm just showing you a quick overview of the chipset of a device. If you see on the left hand side, there is a blue, sky blue color area, and that is basically your secure enclave, which has its own secure enclave processor, its own AES engine. Okay. And if you see, there is a different application processor, and secure enclave processor and application processor are isolated from each other. This is to make sure the device authenticity is kept and it cannot be misled. Yes, I'm not going to explain you entire architecture of this secure enclave, but if you guys are interested to know more about secure enclave and every parts of secure enclave and the chipset, you are welcome to scan your QR code here. This will directly take you to Apple's website where they are explaining in details about secure enclave. Remote assist. This is a feature for which every Mac admin is waiting for. This is coming this summer, maybe in next binary update or next to next binary update. This feature would be live. So what is remote assist? Remote assist is a service or a feature inside Jamp Pro by which you can remotely connect to any managed Mac devices in your organization. You don't need a third party application like Teamweaver anymore. It gives you a robust control. Not only you can take control of the devices, but you can also restart or shut down a device by sitting on your screen. How does this work? In your Jamp Pro, if you go to a particular Mac devices, under management section, you will now see a new option called remote access. And there would be a button called start session with user. And when you click on this button, it will start the initiation of remote session. And this is the way you will see the end users devices. Okay, you will see their dock, you will see their Apple menu, and you can do what all work you need to do remotely. Not only that, if user has multiple display, you can also switch, and you have commands like restart, shut down with your on the bottom left corner. You can use this feature. I am looking forward for this feature. Soon this will be out. This is going to help us. Maybe we'll get rid of TeamViewer from my organization and work directly from remote assist. By this, we are wrapping up the topic about highlights of JAMP April event. But don't forget, uh, JAMP is coming up with JAMP Nature User Conference. This is an annual JNUC conference which happens every year in September. This year, this event is in person in US, Texas. Obviously, it comes with a cost. And if your organization has a travel ban, you cannot go in person, then it is also available virtually, again with a cost. And you can just go to JNUC Conference 2023 website, search it on Google, and you can enroll for this conference. This conference will help you with all sort of new feature and functionality information, Jamp roadmap, Apple roadmap, and all the third-party vendor which are in Apple ecosystem. It's a great opportunity to go in person, see, check with your boss, managers if you can go to this event. With that, upcoming meetup topics. I have highlighted three meetup topics here. Very first is managing a local account in your organization. Uh, I don't know if many organizations provide admin rights to all user. I can talk about my organization. Not a single user is an admin user. Everyone has standard account. So when they want to run some terminal command, or when they want to install an application outside Jamf service, how can they install? So for that, I have developed a workflow uh, which has three components. First is every end user in our fleets can go to Jamf self-service and they can elevate their rights on demand. They can click on elevate button. They need to enter a business justification why they need these rights. And for end user, the script will provide admin rights for 10 minutes. And in these 10 minutes, end user will not be able to open terminal, and he or she will not be able to open kitchen access to play around. It will be restricted for this 10 minutes. As soon as the user is again demoted to standard account, they will get their access back to terminal and kitchen access. Now, there would be a group of people like developers in the organization who will say, with admin rights, I also need a terminal because I am a developer. I need to write my code. I need to test my code. How can I do that? So in my workflow, we have a second set of uh, script, which is dedicated for developer, not only for developer, but also requesting for a developer access with a business justification. So imagine you have requested for developer access and your request is approved. In Jamf self-service, Elevate user access will turn into Elevate developer access. And when an end user with a developer access, when he or she elevate the rights, again they need to give business justification, and their account will be elevated for 10 minutes. And in this 10 minutes, not only they can go to terminal, they can also go to kitchen access and they can play around. It would be like a permanent admin rights just for 10 minutes with full controls. And after 10 minutes, their account will be demoted again. And they can elevate these rights n number of times, but every time they request, it will be elevated only for 10 minutes. Then there would be a final set of people who will say, my work demands admin rights. I cannot take rights just for 10 minutes. And for this, we have an internal process where they can go to cybersecurity and get an approver. And once they have this approval, those set of people will have a separate self-service policy for elevating their rights, which will elevate their rights permanently, and it will update their rights timestamp. And we have a unique ID for such people, which can highlight that, okay, we have provided the admin rights on so and so request. So we have ServiceNow as our requesting tool. So what we do is we add that ServiceNow request number. While elevating the rights, we add that request number in Jamf, so that if someone asks in audit why a particular user has permanent admin rights, we can go to that extension attribute, get that request item, open in ServiceNow and tell them, because of this request and approval from cybersecurity, this person has permanent admin rights. So this is one topic which I have in mind in our upcoming events. The second topic, as I said, is labs. Now we talk about how can we manage local user account. The second topic is how can we manage local administrator account, the default account which people create to manage remotely on devices. So local administrator password solution labs is now possible using Jamp, but it is limited to APIs. I am hoping they will release the user interface version soon, and I'm trying to merge both stuff together and show it to you what are the requirement, prerequisite, and how can we implement labs. Lastly, and importantly, I am also trying to showcase zero touch enrollment because I got to know that many of you want to understand how zero touch enrollment works and how can we configure this in our organization. I have I have worked with three applications when it comes to zero touch enrollment: DevNotify, Octray, and I'm evaluating Setup Your Mac now. I might take a vote in our group out of these three, which is that application on which you want to see a demo, or maybe I would select one of them which is future proof, and then I will showcase this also. How can you set up this in your organization, giving a very pleasant and a best experience an end user can have during onboarding their Mac device. These are the upcoming topics. We can discuss further, what all you guys want me to talk upon. There are good amount of lists we can do and talk month by month. Very important announcement. If you are not aware, Apple has annual developer conference, WWDC. This is Worldwide Developer Conference. This happens every year in between June and July. This is the developer conference where Apple shows their roadmap. What are they bringing for Mac community? And this is also the conference where they also announce the next major Mac OS version, where we can do beta testing and submit some feedback to Apple if you see errors or issues. Note down the date, 5th of June 2023 at 10:30 p.m. IST, 10:30 in the night for us. This keynote will be live. This keynote would be for 2 hours from 10:30 to 12:30 a.m. Okay, feel free to join this. It would be live on Apple's website. It would be live on YouTube. It is good to have. Obviously, I'm going to cover entire WWDC update in one of my meetup. If you miss for some reason for your work responsibility, I am going to cover this for you guys. Lastly, if you guys are not part of the Jamp official India's MacAdmin community, which is on Jamp Nation, scan this QR code, join the community. When you go to this page, it will not give you join button. You need to sign into Jamp Nation, and then you will see a join button. Please join the community. With that, I would like to thank you for joining this meeting yet again, and I will bring more and more topics. Thank you.
Thank you